students, I am Padmasree. Today I am explaining an important concept in the biology. If you observe your surroundings, we find variety of life, that means diversity in living organisms. How this diversity in the living organisms is formed? Have you ever wondered why an elephant always give birth to a baby elephant only? Why not some other animal? Even in the plants also, a mango seed forms only a mango plant, not any other plant. This says that young ones resembles their parents. How is this happen? If do the offspring of the same parents show differences in some of their characters? Yes. What we call the differences and what is the reason for that? Today we are getting all these answers from the concept that is heredity and evolution. Heredity, from parent to progeny. What is meant by heredity? Heredity, the transfer of characters from parents to children is called heredity or inheritance. So here in the first two cases, if we are seeing why the baby elephant resembles the parent, because of the transfer of characters from the parents to the young ones. That what we call heredity. And variations, the differences in characters among the individuals of a species. For example, if you see the siblings in a family, though they have the same parents, but they are showing some differences in their characteristics. Those are called as variations. That is, the differences in characters among the individuals of a species. And genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity and variations. So here this heredity and variations we are studying under a special branch in the biology, that is the genetics. And evolution. It deals with the study of origin of life and gradual descent of species. Here, because of the accumulation of variations in due course of time, it results in the formation of new species that we are going to learn under evolution. So here these are the study of the heredity and evolution. Now we are going to see. Now we'll see about variations. Differences in the characters in the individuals of the same species. What is the reason for the formation of variations? One of the reasons is hidden in sexual reproduction. During sexual reproduction, because of the recombination of genes, here differences will be possible, that we have studied in the reproduction concept. And the types of variations, if you see, somatic variations. These variations are non-inheritable. That means they cannot be passed to the next generation. And genetic or germinal variations, that means these variations are inheritable. That means they will transfer from one generation to another generation. And we are telling that sexual reproduction is one of the reasons. Even in sometimes asexual reproduction also, here the variations are possible in the animals. This is because of the mutations. Mutations means sudden changes in the DNA sequence which leads to the alteration of genes. That means because of this alteration of genes, new characters may be observed even in the young ones of the asexual reproduction. And what is the advantage of these variations? If you observe, variations are useful in adapting towards the changing environment. Suppose if you see the environment will change, and accordingly if the organisms are also changing, then they can better survive in the environment, and this is possible because of the variations. And new traits appear in the organisms. So because of the variations only we are observing some new characters in the offspring, and which gives some survival advantage in the surroundings. And variations provide raw materials of evolution. So we are telling that accumulation of variations results in the formation of new species. That is nothing but evolution. So these variations is the reason for the evolution. And organisms become distinct because of these variations only we can able to recognize each other. That means these variations helps us to identify, that is the makes the organisms distinct. So this is the advantage of variations. In the early 19th century, a lot of work was done by the several scientists. Some of these studies will help us how variations occur and how they are transmitted from one generation to next generation. And we shall study a detailed account of experimental evidences provided by the Mendel in the field of genetics. Brigham John Mendel, he is treated as father of genetics because of his work done in the hybridization techniques. And here Mendel experiments for 7 years from 1856 to 1863. And if you see, Mendel conducted experiments nearly on 10,000 plants of 34 varieties of pea plants. And he conducted hybridization experiments and he proposed the laws of inheritance in the human beings. Mendel conducted experiments and he used statistical analysis and also mathematical logic in the problems in biology for the first time. Why Mendel selected garden pea plant? That we will see. Here, well-defined characteristics. That means garden pea plant, if you observe, they have 7 pairs of chromosomes and they are showing 7 pairs of clear-cut contrasting characters. That's why Mendel selected this pea plant. And the other reasons are bisexual plant. This is a bisexual plant and it is predominantly self-pollinating. This helped Mendel to observe the pure line breeds and suitable for even cross-pollination also. This helped Mendel to observe the hybrid varieties by using this hybridization techniques. And it is an annual plant and it completes its life cycle in short span. So this helped Mendel to observe characters for many generations. So that's why Mendel selected the pea plant, and also it is easily available. And Mendel is an Austrian monk and he conducted his experiments in his monastery garden. He observed many plants and he selected these pea plants, and these pea plants can be cultivated easily on the ground. Mendel selected 7 contrasting characters. What are the 7 contrasting characters? We will see now. Flower color, and here these are the 7 characters, and here I already said he observed 2 clear-cut contrasting characters, and among that one character is dominant and the other character is recessive. Dominant in the sense it is expressed in the young ones in the first generation, even in heterozygous condition also. What is that? We will see later. And recessive character, that is it is not expressed when in the presence of a dominant character. That is it only expresses when both the genes are expressing the same character. And here that characters we will see now. Flower color, purple is a dominant character and white is a recessive. That is white, the purple color flowers are dominant over the white colored flowers. And flower position, the flower position they may be axial or terminal. Axial character is dominant over the terminal character. And seed color, they may be yellow or green. Yellow is the dominant character. Seed shape, they may be round or wrinkled. Round shaped seeds are dominant over the wrinkled. And pod shape, it may be inflated or that means smooth or constricted. And inflated is the dominant. And pod color, the pods may be green or yellow in color. Green is dominant over the yellow. Next, stem length, they may be tall or dwarf. Now we will see what are these capital letters and what are these small letters. Here if you observe, each character is controlled by a pair of genes. Of course, Mendel used the word factors in the place of genes. Later the gene word is coined by Johansen. And here each character, suppose the flower color is a character, it is controlled by 2 genes. Here one capital P and small p. Here how we are mentioning capital P and small p means here we will take the first letter in the dominant character. And the same letter we will use even for the recessive character because the character is same here but 2 contrasting are there. So that's why the first letter in the dominant character will be selected. And for the dominant we will use both the capital P's, or in the hybrids one capital P, one small p also comes, that we will see in the monohybridization experiments. And next white, that is small p and small p. This is the recessive character. So like that we will see the characters by using the here capital letters for the dominant character. The first letter of the dominant character will be taken and the same letter will be used even for the recessive, but we will use the small letters for this. Okay. Now we will see some important terminology related to genetics because these words come across when we are observing the monohybrid and dihybrid. So that's why we will learn these words before. And your trait. like stem length, we observe seed color, like flower position. All these are the characters which we can see externally. So such characters are called as traits. And next, gene. So we are telling that characters are expressed because of the genes. What is the gene? Gene is a segment of DNA that determines some characters of the offspring. Suppose if the stem is tall or broad, if the seed is yellow or green, that is determine the gene. And where the gene is located? The gene is located on the DNA. DNA is a double helical structure which we are finding in the chromosomes. And chromosomes we are finding in the nucleus of a cell. So, gene is a segment of DNA that determines the characters. Now we will see alleles, the two alternate forms of a gene. For example, if you see, if the seed color, if you are considering a character seed color, we have two types of forms, that is yellow seeds we are finding and also green seeds. And that two different types of traits or characters that mentioned by using two different letters, that is genes. That is nothing but the alleles. The two alternative forms of a gene. One is representing a dominant character and one is representing a recessive character. That is the alleles. And phenotype, the physical appearance of an organism with respect to a trait. For example, if the seed color is yellow, that means externally we can say that this is yellow colored seed, and externally we can say that this is a green color. So that external appearance of an organism with respect to a trait. Suppose if the plant is tall, we can externally say that that plant is tall. Like that external appearance, we use the term phenotype. And for genotype, that is the genetic constitution of an organism with respect to a trait. For example, if the plant showing a round seeds, that is we will say that if it is a homozygous round, then we will use these letters. If the plant is recessive, that is ringed shapings, we will use these letters, small case letters of the same letter. So this is the genetic combination. The genetic combination of what type of genes are there, whether they are recessive genes or they are dominant genes, that is showed by the letter genotype. Next, homozygous. When an individual carries identical genes or factors. Here, suppose if you see, for example, seed color, if you have seen, if the seed color is this, means the capital Y, that is yellow color seeds we have and also green color seeds. Two contrasting characters we have, yellow and green. And the genetical representation, the genotype is if both are capital Y, and even for the green color, the both are small y type. That means same type of genes are there representing a character. That condition we call as homozygous. What is heterozygous? We'll see. When an individual carries two different genes of a character. So here this is opposite to this homozygous condition because they are carrying two different genes. For example, the same seed color if you are seeing, yellow seeds, they may show that is homozygote condition, that is both are capitalized, and also they can show their character even in heterozygous condition, that is when they are carrying two different types of contrasting genes. This is meant for yellow and this gene is meant for green. But even though the presence of green gene is there, but as here the yellow is the dominant character, this color will be expressed. That means here yellow, phenotypically it may be yellow, but genotypically it is not a pure breed having two different types of genes. Such condition we call as heterozygous condition. Even stem length also if you are taking, if the tall plant means it may be shown in the homozygous condition when both are capital T, and also heterozygous condition because tallness is the dominant character. When two different contrasting genes are also present, it will represent the tall character only because of the dominant character. Then what is meant by dominant character? The character which is expressed in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. For example, seed color. We have two contrasting characters in the seed color, yellow and green. Here, yellow, when both are capital Y type of genes are there, means obviously the plant color will be yellow seeded. But green, it will show the Y character, that is yellow character only. It does not express the green character. So the character which is expressed even in the presence of another gene representing for another color, such character is called as dominant character. Whereas recessive character, that means the character which is not expressed in the presence of dominant gene. For example, seed color if you are seeing, that is we have two types of seeds, that is yellow colored and green colored. But if yellow colored gene is there, then the green color will not be represented. That means this yellow colored gene is preventing the expression of green character. Here, even though it has a green, but it is showing yellow only. Why? Because this Y character is, that is the yellow character is dominating over the green character. That's why the green character is suppressed here and yellow character is expressed. Then when we observe the green character, only when both the genes are carrying the genes for green character. When both are of genes representing the green color only, then only it will show the green character. So such character is called as recessive character, that is which is not expressed in the presence of a dominant gene. So these are the important terminology which is used for the next class. That is, in the next class we will see the monohybrid and dihybridization process which are conducted by the Mendel to prove that how the variations are transmitted to the next generation. Okay, gentlemen, thank you.